At the United Nations, acting U.S. Representative Dorothy Shea urged the Security Council to call on Iran to, quote, end its 47-year effort to eradicate the state of Israel, terminate its drive for nuclear weapons, stop targeting American citizens and interests, and finally negotiate in good terms. This is after Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the administration successfully accomplished one of the most complex and historic military operations of all time. Joining us now to discuss what's next is Washington Insider Armstrong Williams. Armstrong, good morning to you. What's your thoughts? The first strikes inside Iran by the United States military since Iran's revolution back in 1979.
Well, no military can match the sophistication and the technology that the United States has if they decide to use it. And so the world has changed, and the United States made a decision, and Iran and others paid the price. We just have to wait and see what price we have to pay in the long run.
Well, Leavitt said many presidents had talked about doing this, but President Trump was the only one who had the guts to do it. And VP J.D. Vance said, this is not war, but the clear authority of the president to prevent the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. So what do you make of some Democrats and even GOP Congressman Thomas Massie, who thinks the president should have called on Congress for this?
In situations like this, you want to make sure that nothing is leaked out. There was so much that was at stake here. Even the president had to mislead the world. He did not even tell his closest allies. And so I understand that. But we cannot ignore the fact that Congress always has a role to play, and only they can make a declaration of war.
So they keep bringing up Article 2 of the Constitution, which delineates the powers of the president as commander-in-chief of the military. Presidents, as we know, have repeatedly disregarded that language or argued for a narrow definition of the introduction of forces. Congress has done little to enforce it. What happens if Congress tries to block any further strikes, as the Democrats are threatening to do right now?
Well, whether the vice president wants to admit it or not, a certain level of war has started. And the United States has decided to inject itself into it because of Israel and because of the greater American interest that Iran is a threat. It's a menace to society. And you cannot allow it to continue doing what it's doing without some kind of response. And so the president has responded. So there's no way the United States can pull back now after it's inserted itself. We just have to move forward with caution.
Iran has threatened to shut down the Strait of Hormuz. We know the parliament already voted for that. Given what we just heard about the highly choreographed attack of the 3 Iranian nuclear facilities, will Iran be successful in shutting down that shipping channel?
Well, this is more rhetoric than anything else, because obviously Iran would be his biggest casualty and his biggest ally, which is China. I think what they will do is spike all prices here in the United States. People will begin to see higher prices at the gas pump and other places. But shutting down the Strait of Hormuz, at minimum, it will not affect the ships and the cargo that goes through, but it will have an effect on the United States here at the gas pump.
Armstrong, how concerned should we be about a terrorist attack on U.S. soil?
Very concerned. I mean, it's mind-boggling when you think about the people who are here. The problem is we don't know who's here, and we've already seen what the Chinese have tried to do in the laboratory at the University of Michigan, and we've seen other attacks that have been fought. Obviously, it would escalate, but the American people must watch as well as pray. And if you see something, say something, and sometimes it's necessary to do something.
Washington Insider Armstrong Williams, great to see you on this Monday. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jan.